nights like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sex. Rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone who's precious. You're never gonna get my love, accepting that you're real precious. You're never gonna cramp my style, baby, cause I get a lot of pleasure. And if you wanna test my style, you better have a whole lot of measure. Cause I'm a rock back chick, never tag along the never look back chick. Trendy, a little crazy, intelligently. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, viewers. Yes, we are up. We are up. It is 7 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. Notwithstanding a weather alert today, Friday the 15th of July, we give God thanks for life. I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Rhea Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning to Trinidad, those of you in the Caribbean, and those of you viewing us on the live. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We are still waking up.
It's a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful morning. Folks, the weather, we are currently under a weather alert, but we want to thank those of you that continue to connect with us. It's going to happen for the entire day, wherever you are in Trinidad and Tobago. And I've connected, of course, with some in Trinidad this morning. You are naturally hearing, we're hearing the thunder, we're seeing the lights flashing. And I got up and I said, go back to bed. And I got ready, come out the house, and I said, go back inside.
That's right.
I got on the road, and I said, turn back around. And then I got here, and I sat in the car, and I said, rain was falling very heavy, and this is a sign I should go back home. And then the technical team called and said, how close are you? All right, so we are on set this morning, Rhea.
Most definitely, and I had the same feelings leaving Delaford this morning. I tell you, it was a lot of rain. And I thought to myself, Rhea, I mean, who in their right mind would be up at this hour? But then again, you know, we've got to do what we've got to do. And certainly our viewers are looking forward to the show. And so we will not disappoint.
Not at all. And therefore, we want to thank you very much for taking that opportunity. Those of you connecting with us, those of you on TV, through Gaia, the channel, M&E TV, those of you listening to Smash Radio, Street 91.9 FM, and those of you online, we thank you so much for the continued love and support. It's a rainy morning, but we are here with you. This is the Tobago Updates morning show. At this point, viewers, we head on over to news in 90 seconds.
Alright, thank you, Julian and Rhea. Here's your news in 90 seconds for Friday, 15th July, 2022. A small contingent of representatives from Tobago traveled to the United Kingdom to participate in the Global Bird Fair. It is the first post-COVID-19 marketing campaign in the UK. 5 representatives from the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited formed the contingent along with Tobago award-winning birdwatching tour guide Newton George. The marketing effort is themed Relive, Revive, Return, and TTAL hopes to re-engage the birdwatching community in the UK and direct visitors to Tobago. The Global Bird Fair runs from July 15th to the 17th. Meanwhile, political leader of Unity of the People, Nkosi Phillips, calls on the PDP-led THA to stop victimizing public servants who belong to the PNM. Phillips accused the PDP of combing through departments in the THA and terminating officers not complying with their policies. Chief Secretary Fali Augustine denied these claims of political bias on several occasions. However, Phillips says Many terminated public servants have an affiliation to the PNM in common. They further added that with the removal of public servants, the people replacing them are members of the PDP, creating a situation that might be worse than when the PNM led the THA. And now for some national news, over 600 applicants from Trinidad and Tobago were successful in acquiring jobs on the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. Thousands of people attended the recruitment drive in Port of Spain, San Fernando, and Scarborough more than a month ago. The successful applicants are scheduled to begin work in November. After training, they will be assigned to work in various positions on the cruises. Meanwhile, applicants who registered but were not interviewed in person will be facilitated through virtual interviews in the coming weeks. And that was your news in 90 seconds on a very rainy Friday, and it is back to you, Julian and Ria.
I did not, and I was particularly confused when I saw social media lighting up with persons asking about it. So I don't know what happened there. I really don't know what happened there. I did not.
Yes, I was actually within there's in a meeting at the time, and there it is. We're all
You felt it?
third floor. Yes, we're all sitting on the third floor and wondering what's happening here.
I did not. I did not. I really did not. But, you know, like I said, social media was lighting up. Persons were asking questions about, you know, what happened there, asking persons if they felt it. I certainly did not feel it. And maybe because I was sort of probably walking up and down, I was sort of busy yesterday afternoon, so I really did not feel a thing.
For us, that sort of 5 points.
Which means I should have felt it. The previous day.
Wow, it begins to make you wonder, and you get a bit uneasy in terms of so close.
Yeah.
And what does that actually mean out there? We'll definitely be able to seek out that information from the professionals, and so in such close succession.
Yeah.
Should we be concerned? Should we begin to get a little worried? We trust that our buildings are able to stand up to any sort of those kinds of challenges and adversities as the case may be. And I feel like, I was saying to someone, we barely trying to manage this now, transitioning from a pandemic to an endemic with COVID-19. We already have the showing of monkeypox, and other variants of the COVID-19, already showing up. And now to add more, we in this storm, the hurricane season. And then you want to add on that, you're going to move the earth under me at the same time. Come on, folks, let's do better, continue to pray for God's guidance.
And his protection.
Not anger.
And his protection.
All right. And we have viewers on the live with us this morning, Julia Brown on the live with us this morning, Aaron Miller, Ria. Oh, morning, Ria. All right.
Sharon Mills.
All right, I'm also seeing Latoya. Morning, and we thank you all so much for the continued love what each and every one of you and joining us. It's like as soon as that live gets started, it's just shut up.
That's right. Well, lots of great and exciting things coming up on the program this morning. But just before we get into things, Julian, we need to remind our viewers that Opulence Global is coming to Trinidad and Tobago. To learn how to start your own business, come meet Opulence Global's Senior Vice President and Chief Designer, Sanaz Human, together with all local leaders that will help you to open the doors to financial freedom through Opulence Global Business. Book your seat for free. You can call 341-0715 Juliet Roberts, or you can email them at www.opulence.com/Juliet Roberts. All right, so they're coming and they want you to connect with them in Trinidad. You can connect with them between the 18th and 19th of July, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at La Jolla Auditorium, St. Joseph, Trinidad, or you can connect with them in Tobago on July 21st, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Scarborough New Testament Church of God Conference Hall. All right, so that's Opulence Global. And I want to take the opportunity this morning to send out a special good morning to Merle, Sandy. Merle, we trust that you're having a great day today. So special love going out to you this morning from the Tobago Updates team. So have a great day. And I want to send a very special good morning this morning to Mr. Charles Gray. Charles Gray, if you're hearing me this morning, a special good morning going out to you. And I thank God for you and your heart, because the heart of a man speaks the man. So happy day going out to you and your family this morning, Charles Gray.
All right, and we want to shout out this morning. We're seeing on the live with us Giselle Balfour, Melanie Burising, Kuki Melville. We thank you all so much for joining in and connecting with us, continuing to support the Tobago Updates morning show. We're running on into birthdays, our birthday segment this morning. Who do we have up? Who do we have up for birthdays?
Well, this is an anniversary.
So we start with a 20th anniversary celebration, and we're sending out happy anniversary to Petula and Jason Clark. Petula and Jason Clark, wishing you a happy anniversary, coming from the Tobago Updates family.
And here's to many, many more.
All right, and who do we have here on the lineup, Ria?
We've got Angela Campbell celebrating her birthday today. Angela, yeah, from the looks of your picture, you're keeping it real, you're keeping it fit. Just leave it there. So, you know, happy birthday going out to you and lots of love.
All right, and we thank you all so much, and we wish you all a beautiful birthday. Ria, it's Friday. It's Friday, the 15th of July. In fact, it's the middle of the month already. All right, viewers, let's give you a sense of what's happening on the rundown, Ria. Who do we get started with this morning?
Well, kicking us off this morning, we will be chatting with Michael Anisette, the General Secretary of the National Trade Union Center, and it's going to be focused on labor. The Labour Federation to meet with the Chief Secretary.
All right, and we will also be chatting this morning with Garnet Lawrence, a director of Speak Life Productions. What is Speak Life Productions? So we'll be hearing from Garnet Lawrence this morning, and we look forward to these interviews as we chat and we keep you connected here on a Friday morning. Ria, the rain is done again.
And from what I understand, it's going to be all day long and probably into the weekend as well. So persons stay safe, all right? You may not get the flu, you may not have flu-like symptoms as a result of COVID-19, but there is still the regular flu that's going around. So keep safe, keep dry, keep warm, all right? Be safe out there.
And remember, even in those circumstances, don't be a doctor on your own. Don't try to be a medical expert. Once you display flu-like symptoms, please remain at home and take care of yourself. Contact the necessary agencies as required. Viewers, we thank you so much for the love and support. It's Friday morning. This is the Tobago Updates morning show. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
There we go to Tobago, that paradise, Bombay, Robinson Crusoe, and it is said it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world
The Street 919 FM and the Tobago Updates presents the Tobago Updates Morning Show live simulcast on the Street 919 FM. Start your day with all the information you want and need with the simulcast of the Tobago Updates Morning Show live Mondays to Fridays from 7 a.m. on the Street 919 FM, the official station that defends the nation.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Susolands, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. It's 7:15 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Welcome back. Yes, it's a rainy Friday, but we're happy to be here with you and thank you so much for your continued love and support. In this segment this morning, we are chatting with Michael Anisted, General Secretary of the National Trade Union Center, NATUC. All right, yes, folks, and he's not online. He promised me the last time he hopes to be in Tobago the next time we are speaking, and he's here on set with us this morning. Morning to you, sir.
Morning to you and Tobago, and blessings to Tobago.
All right, so as we begin the conversation this morning, we want to get a feel from you. Moving out of the pandemic, so to speak, persons returning to work, most of the restrictions and so on are being removed and going back to some state of normalcy. Tell us, what's the atmosphere in the country like in relation to labor and the trade union movement?
All right, let me say quite categorically, we are deeply concerned because while we have transitioned out of the pandemic, as you rightly said, the issue of workers who would have lost their jobs, the issues of companies and even government entities who are still telling workers that if you are not vaccinated, your contract cannot be renewed. The issue of the disruption of the social life and financial and economic lives of workers who are affected by the pandemic still exists. So then the conversation, in our view, must be centered around the disadvantaged, the persons who were thrown off of the rail, so to speak, the economic rail. We must have that kind of conversation because we believe in the national trade union movement, and I will say the joint trade union movement, which we unite to fight under the banner Unite to Fight, that the whole issue of the economics, politics, and the culture of Trinidad and Tobago need to be redefined in the context of the realities that are affecting people in Trinidad and Tobago. And I think that we are far away from the realities, and we honestly believe that the politicians, the institutions, the people in authority, the business elites, they are not grounded with the realities that are really affecting, all right, what I want to call the salt of the earth, which is the workers. And we need to start that conversation if we have to move forward for a better Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. And as we move into the matter at hand, you are in Tobago today with the focus being a team meeting with the Chief Secretary in terms of the Labour Federation to meet with the Chief Secretary to discuss issues relevant to labor. Let's start by identifying who is the collective team that will be meeting today in terms of the organizations represented.
It will be the joint federations under the banner Unite to Fight. It comprises of JTUM, the Joint Trade Union Movement, which is headed by Comrade Roger, NATUC, which is headed by Comrade Lambert, who is the president, and we have Phyton, which is headed by Comrade Remy. So the three federations thought it necessary that we must put our collective wisdom together if we are, as a people, to do the kind of transitions and to start the kind of conversation that is necessary for a better Trinidad and Tobago, and obviously the issue of the government offer and the question of the marginalization of government workers is a fundamental issue too that we are deeply concerned about.
Tell us, are you hopeful in terms of these conversations with the chief, particularly because this current administration is one who has made it very clear, based on its associations with Watson Duke as Deputy Chief Secretary and the political leader, that this is an administration that cares for the people and is prepared to treat with those related labor issues? Are you hopeful that these will lead to, in terms of more beneficial discussions because they understand?
Well, I think the first step is the old question of engagement and conversation. What I've learned is that if you don't have a conversation with somebody, you cannot get anywhere. And the fact that the Chief Secretary came out and made a sterling contribution at the Labor Day that we celebrated in Togo and Tobago, and the ideas that he would have projected there resonated with the labor movement. And we believe as a labor movement, as I said, the conversation must start at a particular level. And that is why we extended invitation to the Chief Secretary, and he willingly agreed to accommodate us today. And that tells me something. That tells me something that he's willing to meet and treat with the federations in order to discuss several issues that of mutual benefits and several issues that may be affecting workers, not only in Tobago, but in Trinidad, and how do we look at the global situation to see how we could relate it back to Trinidad to see how we can move forward.
All right. Let's get a sense in terms of some of those issues that you hope to be able to address today in terms of where would you start, would you say, in the Tobago context as a major issue you would want to treat?
One of the major issues is the question of the economy of Tobago. And when I say the economy, we believe that the economy is the people. And if you are in Tobago, you will understand, and I understand it, that because of the system, the goods and services cost of living is higher in Tobago than in Trinidad, and there's a reason for that. I think we need to discuss how do we navigate around that to ensure that doesn't happen. We want to explore that idea. We want to explore the idea that, listen, in any economy to grow, because it's a new thinking and philosophy, the question of job-led growth, one, and wage-led growth is very fundamental to any economy, because if there's no jobs, and I'm talking about sustainable jobs, okay, if your wages is not decent, your whole economic fiber begins to tread. And therefore, the philosophy where people are saying, in this instance, that listen, I don't have money to pay workers, and therefore I'll offer 2% or 4%. It is something that is not good for your economy, because without consumption, there is no economy. And who do the consumption? The consumption are the workers. And therefore, we need to pay attention to that. How do you then, as a leader or as a union movement, and maybe as the employers in a tripartite approach, sit down and understand, if prices are increasing and there's not a concomitant increase in wages, what happens to your economy? Those are fundamental economic issues that people do not talk about. And it's not simply that I don't have money to pay. The question is, how do you build your economy? Do you want to build your economy on the basis on low wages? Or do you want to build your economy where the middle class rises? Not because the business rises, but because it is a natural transition, and therefore you build your economy. But more importantly, the disadvantaged communities are put into the mix where we follow the African tradition that I am because we are, and it takes a community to build a child.
On that note, we've seen, and you know, just as you mentioned, where it is almost on the lower percentile, where it is, I think, 2% and so being offered. Progressively, how do we treat with that in terms of making that clear statement to the government and those in authority that in a time like now, it's very unacceptable. And while one may say, and you mentioned it, that there isn't the kind of funding, we see prices rising in a number of areas. The cost of living across the board has become higher. You go to the supermarket, prices are higher in terms of commodities, services, etc. Because everybody is trying to recover. Everybody is treating with the challenges of even external, where there have been price increases. But yet, the no money situation seems to only apply in the context of the cross-section of the average worker. How do you respond to that in a very real kind of way, particularly in these times where you even have households where some have been sent home and it is the same minimal income for the one that's still employed that has to take care of the full household?
And this is why we want to meet with the Chief Secretary. This is why we want to even go regionally, because there's an intention to also speak to the CARICOM Secretariat, because we have to have that kind of conversation. We cannot continue to believe that our solutions is at cabinet or with a party. This has to go beyond politics, because economics and the development of your country must have processes and analysis. And having said that, it's about culture, it's about politics, it's about economics. And if we begin to put that, what I will want to call the pyramid processes, we'll be able to have the kind of conversation that is necessary. And it starts with a willingness, a genuine willingness to have the kind of conversation. And you identify some fundamental points. I mean, it is a fact that the cost of living, it is raising exponentially. It is a global phenomena, but I would have seen in some countries. Let me give you an example. When Biden came into power, he recognized the role of the trade union movement and workers as critical to his economy. And the first thing he did was raise the minimum wage. You understand? Recognizing that if workers do not have the ability to purchase the goods and services, you are in effect putting an economic dagger in the hearts of your economy. And therefore, the question of decent wages, the question of living wages must be part of any transition, but more importantly, the question of sustainable jobs. We cannot continue in Trinidad where we have the public service. Almost 65% of those workers are on contract. And we are seeing private sector trying to do the same thing. You cannot build an economy. So let's get honest, let's be real, and let us understand that the economy is about the people. And the focus must be about the people and not really the business elite, your political friends, and your financiers. We have to have the honest conversation. And I believe, and we believe in the trade union movement and the federations, as long as we start the honest conversations and we are mutually frank, that we can move forward. That's the only way you can move forward. You have to understand your culture. You have to understand who you are. We must ask ourselves where we want Trinidad to go for our children. And then therefore Trinidad and Tobago and the people of Trinidad and Tobago must be paramount, must be first in any decision that we are making. But more importantly, the disadvantaged, the poor, the voiceless. We must concentrate on those groups of people in the first instance.
Have you had issues raised among your, in terms of the various federations and joint trade union movements, specific at that, in the Tobago space where we have seen in more recent times some changes taking place in terms of the firing of some who have complained, some have gone into the media space alerting the fact that under indicating and making the allegations towards the current administration, under under the guise of restructuring and so on, that some have been removed and some have lost employment. Most recently, we've had in the news a political leader of Unity of the People speaking to the fact that, you know, public servants, terminated public servants seem to have an affiliation in common with the former administration, which is the PNM. Would you have had complaints on issues like that, and are those some of the issues that you would want to be raising with the Chief Secretary?
Obviously, those are some of the issues that we, under the banner Unite to Fight the Federations, will be raising. We have to be careful as a society because we are a small-knit society and everything must transcend politics. Now, I have heard a lot of complaints. One or two people would have spoken to me and they raised the same issue that you are raising. Hey, I was sent home because they say, well, they're not going to renew a contract because they want to do a performance evaluation and do an evaluation. But I am saying, and I'll say it publicly, if that is the approach, it is wrong. It is not good industrial relation practice. You cannot tell me that they're going to send me home on the basis of performance appraisal and evaluation, and we're not going to renew a contract automatically. But at the same time, you did not communicate that to me as an employee one, or you have not put in place the processes that will revolve around that very same statement that you are making. In other words, you can't send me home and then tell me, well, I'm going to now do an evaluation. I mean, it doesn't make sense. And if that is the case, we in the trade union movement, we are going to condemn it. Because it has nothing to do with if you're in a party or who you belong to. It has to do with what is right for the people of Tobago and just like in Trinidad. And the same way we would have condemned the government for offering 2% in the first instance and then 4%. If that is what reveals itself, we will tell the Chief Secretary the same thing. No, that is a wrong approach and that is not in the best interest of Tobago, and we have to come off that scene where which political party you belong to determines what you get in any country. That is wrong, and we will make that absolutely clear. But like every other thing, there is 3 sides to a story. So we would like to hear his side of the story as to what would have prompted the termination of 200 people. And it's not 200 people, because how we multiplied in the trade union movement, if you send home one person, is about 5 people that you're sending home. So that 200 could be 1,000 people. And 1,000 people out of bread, job, and butter, or shelter, or who has the possibility of the mortgage being taken away from them because there is an ability to meet your monthly payments on whatever it is something that we must guard against, and is something we must not allow as a people of Trinidad and Tobago. And we, within the trade union movement, we are about speaking power to truth.
In the world as it is now, we speak to limitations with regards to resources, and many governments would preach that. But let's get more specific in terms of workers and the responsibility of the worker in terms of being more productive in the workspace, seeking to really maximize and make a difference. So we contribute to developing this Tobago and the Trinidad and Tobago that we want to see. Is the trade union movement prepared similarly to hold workers accountable in terms of building and lifting that productivity standard?
That has always been the mantra of the trade union movement. And let me say historically, because you see, that statement sounds good, all right, and it sounds correct. But what is the reality? If we understand our history, is the workers going back 400 years ago would have built the productivity and built every country and economy, whether it's by slavery, whether by indentureship. It is the workers that build Trinidad and Tobago, or build the region, or build the global space. And therefore, the worker is a critical ingredient in terms of productivity. Because if the workers doesn't produce, how do we address the issue of having the goods and services there for the population? So that the worker is an integral part of one, the production aspect of it, and also the consumption aspect of it, and therefore we must look at the worker within that context. And I'm saying all this to say that it is like a cog. If you take out one, you're going to have problems. But we will support any aims in the context of productivity. But we are also saying, if I produce, there must be a relative compensation for my productivity. And we don't see that in Trinidad, because I will make a point that nobody discusses in Trinidad and Tobago. When profit outstrip productivity, what happens in your economy? I'm asking that, and all the economists who does be talking, I'm putting that right on the floor for discussions now. When productivity, like in Trinidad, or profits rather, outstrips productivity in any economy, what happens to that economy? All right, and I would like to have, that is another conversation, all right, that we will have to have, but I would like to put that on the agenda for discussions.
All right, thank you very much there. Viewers, Michael Anistet, General Secretary of the National Trade Union Center, joining us on set here this morning as they prepare to head into meetings today with the Chief Secretary to discuss labor issues specific to Tobago and by extension Trinidad and Tobago. So we look forward to those updates coming out of these meetings that will take place today as they continue to seek the interests of workers and the continued development of Trinidad and Tobago. At this point, viewers, we head on over to the good stuff this morning. The good stuff this morning. And in the good stuff this morning, Scarborough Secondary School congratulates her very own attorney at law, Miss Gaverne Mitchell, who graduated yesterday in London with her MSc in Finance and Financial Law. And we want to take this opportunity to say congratulations to Miss Gaverne Mitchell, or should I say attorney at law, Gaverne Mitchell, certainly graduating now in London with her MSc Finance and Financial Law. Congratulations coming from the Tobago Updates family. Viewers, we want to thank you so much for the continued love and support. Yes, I see you there online, folks. Carol Fraser Davidson, Dornette Dempster, morning, Auntie Dornette, Keeve Pollard, Tanessa Lawrence. Yes, Tanessa, it's good to have you on. Again, tuned in and ready this morning. Humble Blessed Chick, yes, I certainly know who you are now. All right, we want to thank each and every one of you for the continued love and support here for the Tobago Updates morning show. Those of you joining us via TV, those listening to us on the radio, and those of you connecting with us online, it's your chance to share the live, share the live, share the live.
And look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning, put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
For plans for your garden or even a thoughtful gift for a friend, we at Eden Nurseries are waiting to welcome you with our affordable prices and variety of indoor and outdoor plants, flowers, palms, soil blends, pots, landscaping services, maintenance, irrigation services, and water features. Visit our garden shop and nursery Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. located at the back of Orange Hill Gas Station, Shore Park, Tobago, or call us 639-0776 and let us help you bring your garden to life.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
There we go, Tobago, that paradise, Bombay, Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say, come Tobago for holiday. Smile, let we smile in Tobago. That paradise, Bombay, Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the...
There's a taste in the air everywhere. Feel the vibe cause it's something to share. Smooth, rich and creamy, you'll find it right here. Makes you smile, relax a while, it's fun and good cheer. Ooh, enjoy every scoop. Ooh, every taste will get you. We have flavors that you love, a combination special. Come along, enjoy your treats. This is Uncle Pete's.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We are still chatting this morning as we continue the discussion on with Nkosi Phillips, who is the political leader of the Unity of the People. And this morning the discourse is on the THA being accused under the Farley Augustine-led assembly. The discussion on whether or not the PDP is help me here, Julian. Yes. Whether or not...
Correct. In terms of the PDP continuing with regards to, is this really targeted kind of
right
terminations that are happening and the restructuring?
That's right.
Space. So let's hear. We're going to get a quick interview here this morning with political leader of the Unity of the People.
Pleasant good morning.
Yes, all right. So we have political leader Nkosi Phillips on with us. You would have made some very strong claims. Give us a sense in terms of, what's the genesis of it for you? Is it that you would have received direct complaints as well as political leader of Unity of the People, notwithstanding that these persons, as you mentioned, have affiliations to the People's National Movement, which is the former administration?
Mm-hmm. Yes, those are conversations I would had with some of the persons there who were sent to them, or some persons still in the administration trying to stay afloat. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't just make statements, just like I evaluate. If you realize, I take a very long time to respond to certain things because I like to get different sides to a story, as I heard the former speaker saying. There are different sides to a story. And it is just fact. And a pleasant good morning to Tobago and Tobago Updates. Good morning. Sorry about that.
All right. We also want to get a sense from you, particularly what's been happening, political leader Nkosi, in relation to the Unity of the People past the last election. Does the party continue to be relevant, providing that support and assistance, as I know you would have committed to, even going through the elections?
Yes, we are continuing with the support. As I said, right now we have been working throughout Tobago, Trinidad, within the Arima space, the Shagwana space, the Kuva space, and we are still doing our programs and still doing as much as we can. Just last week we sponsored a number of preschools within the Tobago space with bags of books and stuff. Last weekend I was in Trinidad distributing bags and shoes We are still on a book bag and shoe drive for children who are now graduating to go into secondary and primary school. So Unity of the People and the executive, we have been working continuously. We are looking, as right now, we are still searching for members to contest the local elections in Trinidad. Will not be contesting all the seats, but we are looking at seats where I think the work that I've been doing in Trinidad over the past years would kind of reflect on the number of votes that we should get. And we're still pushing because we're looking at some more areas contesting based on how the Trinidad space welcomes us to Trinidad.
All right, Nkosi, I want to ask you here concerning this political bias that you are accusing, the Unity of the People is accusing this administration of. Now, over the years, when administrations would have changed, not that we've seen very many changes over the years, but when it would have changed, of course, we would have seen changes made as well. Now, the previous administration was accused of having an enormous staff. Yes, we understand that several positions may have been created, to staff, positions would have been created and maybe so to just give people a work, give them a job. And this new administration, because of financial constraints, economic situations, would now have to make the adjustments, shedding some of the load, the financial load, of course, closing off departments, reducing staff. These are decisions that they have to make. How is that different from what it is you're saying here? Because you're accusing them of sending home persons who are affiliated with the People's National Movement. And that's a little different from saying here that, they've got to reduce the workload, reduce the staff. Let me hear your thoughts.
No, we have to pick sense and nonsense. And I don't have time for the back and forth with lashing political parties. The same speed and the same power that I would have used for the former administration when they were there is the same strength I'm going to do. There are certain things as a political leader and a party we will support, as in some of the policies as mentioned in the budget and some other things. But let's pick sense and nonsense. We don't have money, but we're opening an office in Trinidad presently. Is that necessary? We don't have money, but we just gave $1.6 million to the Maxi Taxi Drivers Association. We don't have money. And so many things are just happening just like that. We don't have money. Now, I understand they found corruption, they found this, they found that. But any of these things, as they were using on the platform, anybody is found of using or misappropriating funds, they're going to be brought to justice by the TTPS. The question is any of these information or allegations that they have found, are they in the hands of the TTPS? And are we going to see an investigation? We just keep on hearing mouth. And when you ask the TTPS, they have no information. They have not received any documents. So let's come on. Now, as I said, I'm in support of change. But we have to make sense of the change. You can't make change and there's no sense to it. Now, I understand the reshuffling. I understand it's a new administration. You want to put people who you trust. But it's conversations that we are having with persons even still inside. Some of them are forced to do things that they're not supposed to do, or sign on to conjuncts and not, and if they don't do it, they move or shuffle them around. It is facts, right? And Tobago people some are very hypocritical because you're seeing some of them with their statements, will send on to PNM. Yes, they will clean out all the PNM. Okay, you as a person sitting behind Facebook saying, send on the PNM. Let me send on all the PNM workers that you assume are PNM people or UTP people or any people. And let me just leave all the PDP people to do the work. Come on, let's make sense out of this. I understand the change in the division. I understand that we need to reshuffle and we need to but at the end of the day, let's do it with sense. You can't send on people and then come and say, for example, the contractors, right? Your big up in the budget. Yes, you're going to pay them by Friday. Every single contractor is going to get paid or they're going to get at least some money. But now you're coming out to say you're going to give them a letter of comfort. You have to put a team together. Come on, it is facts. And I understand people coming at media negativity, but as a political leader, we have to make sense, and I'm not going to be biased. There are people out there because there are the same people that was in support of the PDP are the same ones who are in our Facebook pages requesting help. But we wouldn't turn them away, we will still assist. If it's that I can reach out to somebody there, I will assist. It is facts. It is relevant facts that we're seeing in front of our eyes. So it's not that I'm being biased towards the PDP. As I said, I'm in support of certain things that are making sense.
Just as we look to wrap in terms of this morning's interview, my question to you is, my information and understanding, in 2001, we had the same kind of changes being made by Chief Secretary Orville London in order to drive his mandate as a PNM administration. When we had the change to the People's Partnership Government, we saw the very same thing by Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar at the time, saying that she needed persons to be able to drive her mission and direction. Most recently, we saw the Honorable Keith Rowley do the very same with the closing down of an entire ministry, the Ministry of Tobago Development, because it did not align with his mandate and direction. The question is, what is expected to be different now coming from this current administration, similarly making changes in terms of setting that direction for their policy and achieving their mandate?
Your promise to the people of Tobago, your promise is to see the people as people and citizens of Tobago and not just PDP or PNM or UTP people. That is a promise, and that is a promise that has been failed by all the other predecessors or persons that have continued to say that, oh, we are the Prime Minister, we are the Chief Secretary for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And then when you get there, you change everything and become the same as before and the same as others. So I understand what you're saying, but your promise to the people is what the people need, and you cannot neglect on your promises. And at least there must be a level of transparency, because at the end of the day, one of the things that strikes me is that I'm not attacking anybody, but when I look to the body, if I tell them going to, my thing that strikes me is that you are looking at a PSA former president who couldn't account in certain reports that were made against him in regards to the financial structures of the PSA. And you were looking to give that person $60 million to account for. The same Deputy Chief Secretary who went to Dubai that we can't even get a report for. So it's all about accountability. It's all about your word to the people. And that is what you have to be looking at different. We're looking at Mr. Farley, the Chief Secretary, as a church person, as a saint. And you know, you're saying one thing and you're neglecting on what you're saying. Your word to the people is the strongest bond than somebody actually committing to put a vote to you to become Chief Secretary. And that is what
I feel like political leader, I feel like that is the normal old talk of politicians. You see even the thunder and the voice of God telling you them politicians going at it again. I feel like that is the normal old talk, but at the end of the day, and let me put it into your perspective, even if in the coming election we are to elect you as political leader and we're hoping that you would make a difference, how can you fundamentally keep everything the same with the support staff, the teams, the units, the operations, but make the difference that you hope to make? Tell us how you would do it differently as we close this morning.
Very simple. As you see me sitting here still being persistent, I contested 3 elections, and every single election I tell them I'm going to push. I told them we're going to become a national party, and my consistency and the drive. This is what puts me where I am today and how I'm going forward. That is my word to the people, that I will continue to fight for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And that is all I'm going to add it. I'm not going to say anything. No, I am not perfect. The Chief Secretary is not perfect. Nobody as a leader is perfect, because you have to continue to speak for all. But there are some people that you cannot suit and some people you could. But at least do it with dignity and integrity. And not just integrity of your party, but integrity for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And what is, because of my mother, you know my mother said, anytime you go in there and you do anything without integrity, don't come back home. When you come out of office, you must come out with integrity and dignity of what you did for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And that is where I will leave it.
Thank you very much there.
I'm going to leave it there in the interest of time, but I really would like to know, how do you know who's a PNM and who's a PDP? And, you know, I heard the political leader of the Unity of the People make mention just now of, you know, leading with integrity. But then, according to that question, referring to that question that you asked a little while ago, Julian, you would want to have persons around you who are pushing your mandate.
I'm yet to see a political dispensation that has started off and not had to make these changes.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, you know, we call that the recipe for madness. You want to leave things the same, but you're expecting different results.
Yeah.
So yes, I agree. I do not agree with the broad brush kind of removals and get, all right, once you're wearing red or once you're wearing any other color,
but keep
then you're out
persons
of it.
who are equipped to do the job. And I'm saying here, it should not be politically motivated. And like I said,
but there must be changes. There must be changes that will happen along the way. What I'm saying is I do not believe these changes should take place out of vindictiveness and spite.
No.
But they should be within the context of what is building and developing so that ultimately Tobago is able to derive greater benefit. One of the things that, touched me very, very deeply, I could have never anticipated. In fact, I said openly in spaces that you remove an entire ministry. That you close down an entire ministry, but I also had to respect it happened, and I also had to respect the position of the Prime Minister as well as those who sat in office at the time, right here in Tobago in the PNM administration, indicating that the ministry attempted to have been competing with the THA, and those were the concerns.
And we did see some
and
of
the
that.
Justification was that was the only way to deal with it, that it was not necessary on the expanse and the extent that it was developed, and therefore that was the rationale given. But ultimately, we're at a point where the question is, again, as I said, I am yet to see an administration that takes up office
and not make changes.
And not make those kinds of changes. I just wish that it would not be premised any at all across the board in terms of any kind of political spite, but genuinely seeking to make a difference for the development. It's left to be seen. This administration has 4 years in office to be able to deliver on its mandate, and then once again, the people of Tobago will determine. And that's the cycle that we live in.
That's right.
Ultimately, indeed. All right. And at this point, viewers, we head on over to Tobago Notes.
In the coming months, Destination Tobago will participate in a number of road shows and travel markets. This will ensure Tobago's source market partners are aware that the island is ready to welcome visitors and provide them with great memories. That's just one of the plans of the new 12-member board of directors at the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, TTAL. Another area of focus for the new board is making the most out of the airlift opportunities, especially the one coming out of the United States.
One of the things that we're hopping on is the fact that there's now a direct flight between JFK and Tobago. Previously, the agency had no direct marketing interaction or support in the US market, and we're working now to create a situation where we have a rep in the US market. The links, first of all, the diaspora demand, and also getting into just generic demand from that particular market.
And even as we look to attract more foreign visitors, the chairman of TTAL gives the assurance that our domestic market will not be neglected. So promoting staycations is another key factor in increasing visitor arrivals.
The second thing that we would be interested in is focusing a little more on domestic marketing. What COVID has shown us is that while it's all right for us to focus on the external market for tourism, we cannot get away from the staycations and the domestic demand that can help to buoy us through a future rough period.
Since the board's appointment about 3 months ago, there's been questions about the Tobago Beyond branding. Ms. Edwards says her team sees the valuable potential this label has for the island.
The Tobago Beyond Ordinary gives us an opportunity to build out and round out our marketing message to really showcase all the things that make Tobago special, or harvest, or culture, the way that we could just go and buy fresh fish, and all the things that just make my island beautiful. So we definitely will be working on using local content, using local influencers, more local music, more local shots, basically selling the destination from the eyes of a Tobagonian.
The new board will also continue to support the agency's sustainability strategies, like facilitating the Green Key and Blue Flag certification programs.
They have gotten the Green Key and they're working on the Blue Flag certification, and we think that if we're going to continue to sell ourselves as a beyond ordinary island, those international certifications will help us to position ourselves properly in that market, and also as well to perpetuate the narrative that we're actually doing the things that we say we want to be doing.
The board will also work with TITAL's employees as well as local stakeholders to strengthen the island's offerings to visitors.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Rise and shine, the light is coming. In these last days, His Spirit is. This is my church. Oh Lord, your church has been calling. Wake us up from this deception we daydreaming.
And the prophet tell you 21 days and he said nothing about it.
In a God, wake up your church. Close to me. We want a revival. Wake up your church. We want a revival. God, wake up your church. We want a revival.
Our viewers, I tell you, welcome back. We continue on this morning with the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We're chatting this morning with Mr. Garnet Lawrence, the director of Speak Life Productions. And he's here on the program this morning to tell us all about what Speak Life Productions is all about. Garnet, good morning, welcome.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's really good to have you on the program. Now, I need to start things off this morning by mentioning to our viewers, in fact, you are a drama coordinator, you are the director, you are, in fact, you wear many hats.
Yes, yes. Playwright, actor, director, actor coach, teacher, performing arts teacher. So, yeah, I've been doing it.
Right. Husband, father,
yes.
Just to throw in. Good morning to Tanetta Lawrence.
Exactly.
Now, Garnet, persons would have known you associated with TPAC. Is it that you're no longer with TPAC? Is this in collaboration with TPAC? Is this what's happening here with
Well,
TPAC?
I'm no longer with TPAC, and this is my own venture. This is something that has been in the making for the last 20 years, I would say, honestly. From the first time I had my first production when I was 18, Second Chances, I had a vision to start a Christocentric based performing arts company and start running productions, films, high quality, intense, and socially relevant work. That has been the vision since I was 18, and it's now coming to life.
Now, you said at 18 when you had your first.
Yes.
What do you mean by had your first production? What did you act in it?
Well,
what part did you play at age 18 in this production?
Well, most times it's the same role I end up playing: playwright, director, lead actor as well, set designer, costume designer, stage manager, the full works, because I know when doing church productions.
At 18?
Yeah, at 18. That was my first play when I was 18 that I wrote, directed.
Were you still in school?
No, I had just finished. Sixth form. I think I was now started to teach at Scarborough Secondary. After that first play with church, I did my first play at Scarborough Sec called Chinese Whisper. I was working with Alma Holder, or Gordon Holder now, and we did a production called Chinese Whisper about secondary school children who had a rumor about somebody having HIV. So I have always had a passion for writing socially relevant work, for writing Christocentric work that is current, that addresses real social issues affecting us at this point in time. It's been since I was 18, but here I am now doing it.
And then you moved on to, well, after you left teaching for a bit, you moved on to UWI.
Yes. So what happened was, while I was at Scarborough Sec, I decided that instead of just doing it as a hobby, I would enter it full time, because I believe it was something that God called me to do. It's a ministry. I've always seen performing arts as a ministry first. The idea of reaching out to people, touching people, people experiencing their own catharsis both on and off stage that helps them see how they can fix themselves, how they can change. And I made it into a profession from since that decision. It was kind of crazy because there's no real theater that makes money in Tobago or theater much in Tobago.
Because I want to know, how do you turn ministry into money?
Well, that's what we're going to be doing. Okay. What's happening is, one, we have to look at developing several different arms, and I would say simultaneously. There is an appetite for high quality Christian work or high quality social work. That is not to be discussed. We are a Netflix generation. We like to watch shows, we like to watch drama. The challenge is that as a believer, there isn't much content for us that we can look at and we feel comfortable viewing. I had to go and repent when I finish. So I have always had the belief that there is a space for family-friendly Christian performances that anybody can come to. I'm not going to be shoving Jesus down your throat. At the end of the day, some of the most powerful stories told by Jesus was taking ordinary things and putting it, the kingdom of heaven is like unto something that everybody can relate to. And that, Jesus being the ultimate storyteller, is one of the things that I want to do, that I aim to do, being able to tell stories in ways that people can appreciate.
How is Speak Life Productions different from, or how does it differ from Tobago Drama Guild and TPAC?
Well, first of all, because we are a Christocentric organization, the Christian community can feel comfortable, feel welcome. It's not that the plays and the work is going to make you feel comfortable. I am chasing catharsis, which means that I'm going to force you to confront some ugly truths about yourself, about the church. Anybody who has come to my plays during Christmas program know I don't pull punches. I talk things straight. And if you've watched my plays in school as well, I don't pull punches. But the idea is there is a space where we can come, where we, as I said, feel comfortable viewing, your family feel comfortable viewing, and you don't have to deal with the concerns of some of the rituals that you may see happening on stage that sometimes make you feel a little bit uncomfortable at times. So that's the basic idea that I have. Also, my intention is not just to do plays, but to develop the capacity of other churches and community groups as well who want to do theater, and just theater, not just theater and cultural forms and carnival and heritage and best village. Because while those have their place, it is not all that performing arts is, and it feels as all other times that if you are doing performing arts, you have to do heritage. You have to do, you don't. And even if you do, because I have, as a teacher, I have touched on and used carnival characters, but it's how you treat with it also is important. So one of the main things I want to do is I want to put on work and I want to develop capacity within other organizations to do the kind of work that I am doing. And in so doing, we build audiences, we build playwrights, we build directors, we build stage managers and lighting designers and costume designers who can now find a way in which they can express their talents in a meaningful way and hopefully in a financially sustainable way as well. That is my end goal.
And I hear what you're saying. So what is Speak Live Productions offering to the public or the Christian community? Or is it open to...
It's open to anyone who wants to be involved. It's open to anyone, Christian, non-Christian. I would say, however, I'm a Christian first. So there are things that I don't go, that I don't touch. That's just based on my beliefs. But it's open to anyone. At present, we're offering 5 services. First of all, as a playwright and as a, well, recently winning an International Screenwriters Award. I am a playwright and a screenwriter as well, so we can provide scripts for your church that is tailor-made to your specific needs of the organization. I can also provide actor coaching. If you have a script, if you take one of my scripts, I can come in and do sessions with your actors or with the individuals to help them develop their characterization, some blocking, some notes, so that they can improve their performances. In September, I'm going to be starting an actor training program a 3-month intensive actor training program, where it is we have children from 8 to 12, youth from 13 to 19, and adults who can come in and be working in small groups, no more than 12, and we're going to be working on building how to build character, how to understand basics of blocking, the process of coming into character, script analysis, and the aim is that at the end of your training program by November, we're going to be doing 3 productions: a children theatre production, a youth theatre production, and an adult or general audience production. And when I say children theatre, I don't mean theatre for children where adults are performing for children, but if your children take part in the training program, there's a chance that they can also be performing on stage for other children, youth performing for other youth as well. That is, and the aim is that we not just do this actor training now, but every 3 months we go through a cycle where we put on a production every third. Because I can't do more than a third. That's crazy. that would be crazy. But the idea is to start building capacity and building audiences for children, audiences for youth, and for adults as well.
All right. Now, Garnet, how can persons contact you? Because this, I mean, this is new. And I'm not saying here that drama is new to the church. I'm saying what you are offering is now new to the church. I grew up in a culture, a church culture that had the Sunday school would have put on a little play. We call it a play back then, or a little skit. Now you have taken that little skit and that little play to being on stage. That was unheard of. Let me say, in this part of the hemisphere. All right, it was unheard of before. You have now evolved things, allowed things to evolve into a space where the talented persons, I mean, we move from singing being the only talent at church, to dance being, you know, or mime being another one, and then drama. And I love how you pronounce it. I say theater, he says theater. You know, it's very different. But you have now caused things to evolve to the point where it's no longer at the bottom of the steps of the pulpit. But it's now front and center on stage.
That's the aim. And one of the things, when I did my first play, Tyler Perry had now begun to direct. My Black Woman first came out and became a big blow up. And one of the biggest lessons I learned from him is, one, that there is money to be made in doing Christian theater, and two, that it is valuable. And I think what has happened is a lot of people in church, or people generally, they don't feel as though theater has much value because it's appreciated as much as probably dance or other areas as well. But theater has value in of itself. It has an important social function. And I guess because I have grown up in church and I've seen the way in which people leave plays in church and in school with questions, with ideas of, is this me? Have I dealt with this? That for me is an important note to pay attention to. It has an important social function. And I want to get to that place where not just me as Speak Live Productions, but other community groups and churches are speaking to the various things that are happening on our island, in our nation, in the region, because we're not very different from each other, and bringing light to it. And hopefully through that, people can be healed, people can be restored, people can finally confront those monsters they have hidden in their past, traumatic experiences as well, through the work of theater, whether you are on stage or you are off stage.
All right, now, Ghana, very quickly here, because we're getting ready to wrap up. Faith in film, you recently won an award.
Yes, I was the grand prize winner in the International Faith in Film Screenwriting Competition. It's open to people from all over the world, Australia, Spain, and from that they gave me a one-on-one consultation with a senior playwright, a senior screenwriting executive and consultant. She would have worked on the movie Harder They Fall, Netflix, with Idris Elba. She would have been working on that as well. So she gave me a lot of important points as to how to adjust the work that I'm doing to be more of an international quality or international standard. So I'm going to be revising and coming back with that piece again at some point in time.
All right. And I'm not sure if we should let Tobago know you're also working on something else.
Yes. Working on my first book as well, publishing my first book, Anansi and the Fire Ants. It is something I realize that I have in my hand. I can write. I have been writing. I just have not been publishing my work as yet. So the idea now is to move from just writing plays into writing devotionals, into writing children's stories that address, again, my aim is always real and relevant social issues.
All right, well, Garnet, let me tell you, I know that Tobago is really proud of you. Your wife, Tanessa, the last few messages, the last maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 messages that have come in on the live have been from your wife, Tanessa Lawrence. She says, interested persons can inbox Garnet Lawrence or call or WhatsApp him on 788-3508. She said, we speak live. And her final comment here is, I love this man, just saying, so proud of you, Garnet Lawrence, and all the hearts and the eyes and hearts and the lips and everything else that's coming out to you. You know how you guys do it.
Yeah, that's when they marry a butchers woman.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. So I want to tell you, congratulations. We're really proud of you, and we continue to expect great things from you. And this is an opportunity for the church to get involved. Church, whether you are Christian or not, but I tell you, you're not going to leave not being a Christian, but so it's an opportunity for you to get involved, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you so much. But we're going to leave it there for now. Yeah, we're going to leave it there for now. And we head over to GMT with Candice. We head over to GMT with Candice. So viewers, even as we leave, I'm just wrapping up and saying goodbye to you for the weekend. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. And remember to wear your mask, sanitize, and socially distance. And now it's over to GMT with Candice. Over to you, Candice. Guys, have a great day. Bye-bye.
Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candice and Denasia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong.
We are beauty, we are power.
We are people in the sun.
We are beaches, we are rivers.
We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger. Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candice and Denasia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong.
We are beauty, we are power.
We are people in the sun.
We are beaches, we are rivers.
We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago. Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candice and Denasia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes
There we go to Tobago, that paradise, Bamba, Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come to Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tactile is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tactile is always right here for you.
Together we're stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region, with the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Candice Jackson, and I am coming to you from the Mount Irvin Hotel. I'm going to just as small representatives from Tobago travel to the United Kingdom to participate in the Global Bird Fair. It is the first COVID-19 marketing campaign in the UK. Five representatives from the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited form the contingent, along with Tobago award-winning bird-watching tour guide Newton George. The marketing effort is themed Relive, Revive, Return, and Title hopes to encourage the bird-watching community in the UK and direct visitors to Tobago. The Global Bird Fair runs from July 15th to the 17th. Political leader of Unity of the People, Nkosi Phillips, calls on the PDP-led THA to stop victimizing public servants who belong to the PNM. Phillips accused the PDP of combing through departments in the THA and terminating officers not complying with their policies. Chief Secretary Fali Augustine denied these claims of political bias on several occasions. However, Phillips says many terminated servants have an affiliation to the PNM in common. They further added that with the removal of public servants, the people replacing them are members of the PDP, creating a situation that might be worse than when the PNM led the THA. And now for some national news. Over 600 applicants from Trinidad and Tobago were successful in acquiring jobs on the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. Thousands of people attended the recruitment drive in Port of Spain, San Fernando, and Scarborough more than a month ago. The applicants are scheduled to begin work in November. After training, they will be assigned to work on various positions on cruises. Meanwhile, applicants who registered but were not interviewed in person will be facilitated through virtual interviews in the coming weeks. And that was your news in 90 seconds. And of course, like I said, we are here at the Mount Irvin Bay Hotel, and we have a jam-packed program for you. And to get us started, we have first off with us Mr. Ricardo Alfred, and he is the chairman of the Tobago Agribusiness Development Company, or better known as TADCO. So a special good morning to you, Mr. Alfred. How are you doing?
Yes, everything is fine. Good morning.
All right, great. Now, so getting straight into it now, we had the capital of Paradise come back with their second catch, and it had a value of $9,000 in tuna.
Well, actually, it's a correction. It was actually 11,000.
11,000.
Yes, $11,130.
Wow. Okay. So I mean, so tell me a little bit about how has things been with the Capital Paradise. You guys had two missions so far, two outings so far. You know, how has it been? Like, is it living up to those expectations?
Right. So first we are doing some assessment. The first trip took an equivalent of 10 days in which they had earned about 17,000 US, and just some may under 2,000 US in the local bycatch. So that was 10 days. Then they had this trip, which was 3 days of the storm. They had to be grounded for about maybe 2 days. So it was a 3-day trip, right? It was a 3-day trip, and they were able to make about 11,000 US on the export market and just about 2,500 US on the bycatch local market. So we are able to do some assessments as regards to how much days now. Now they left yesterday for the third trip. This trip will be longer because we have to keep in mind that the vessel is a fairly old vessel and it was done for 4.5 years. So I'm not pushing it too hard. So this third trip, they will be out there a bit longer to do a better estimate as to how much fish they're going to be catching.
So you're basically feeling out the waters.
Yes, especially because of the was done for 4.5 years. You have to be careful in terms of pushing it hard, you know.
Tell me about what is the goal? Is there anything in mind as to how much fish do you want to get to at a certain point? You like 13,000 US dollars worth of tuna, and it's just primarily tuna that we're catching for export, or?
Right. So we utilize live bait. Right now, the vessel is on its way to St. Vincent to capture the amount of bait that we need to do the trip. So we use live bait. There's something called bycatch, which is any other fish other than tuna. So you have like dolphin, kingfish, shark, these type of species. So there's a line that goes with some hooks. Whatever comes in, they gut them, they clean them, and they put them in the freezer, in the hole.
And tell me about the fish processing part of it, because I mean, you have to prepare the fish before it exports. And to where in the US are we exporting our fish?
Right, so there's a company that actually gives us the best price. So once they know that we have tuna, they would call me and I would identify to that company, and they would find the best market for me. It could be anywhere. It's based on price. So always go for the higher price.
Of course.
Yes.
And so, like, how is it processed?
Right, so you have a butcher on board the vessel. So when the fish is caught, it comes directly on board. We have a table, a butcher table. It is gutted, it is clean. Remove all of this stuff, and then when I say stuff, I mean remove all of the vital organs is removed. It is done in a very safe and very, all of the standards are met because everybody wears their PPE in terms of their gloves and aprons and that kind of stuff, so that when it goes into the hole, it's completely safe for consumption. And then when it comes to Trinidad, they will do samples in terms of cuts. So you check for the cloudiness and that stuff to know how to grade it, if it is grade 1, grade 2. So far, all of our tuna have been grade 1 and grade 2, which is...
Wow, good news.
Yeah, which is very good, actually.
All right. So, I mean, if this continues, these ventures continue to be successful, is TADCO considering acquiring additional vessels to go out and bring in a greater catchment of fish?
Yes. You see, the goal in mind really, is to assist the fish processors, the people who are doing the tuna ham, who are doing the fish, the smoked fish, and all these different commodities as regards with fish, so that at the end of the day, they must be able to have a steady market, a steady raw supply market, and that they can do their trade. I'm very glad that I met with someone from school feeding, so that we can actually those program and getting fish into the menu, the local fish, at a very, very good price, so that it's all about ensuring, that that our children are healthy.
And what we're also seeing here is that, TADCO is not just supplying fish, but it's also supplying some of the ground provisions and the vegetables towards the school feeding program.
Yes, we met with, so we are going to be reaching out soon to some of the farmers as to what they would definitely need to prepare to assist that program. At the end of the day, we have to build the capacity of the local farmer on the island in terms of what they should be producing and the quantity.
And is this going to take down the bill for the school feed program, like having the local, whether it be fish or vegetables, grounds, whatever, reduce the cost for school feeding?
Well, yes, and it's also a bird's eye view, because you would actually reduce the amount of stuff coming from Trinidad that are going into the school feeding program in Tobago. And again, is to build the capacity of the local farmers or agro-processors in Tobago.
Okay. I also want you to do some comparisons now with what the capital of Paradise is bringing in right now compared to what it brought in before, I should say prior to 4 years ago. What can you tell us about, that difference in revenue?
I really don't have the data as to what happened before. So I really can't that actually. The vessel is a fairly decent vessel. It's one of the larger, it's a larger fishing vessel in Tobago, and is one of the largest fishing vessels in Trinidad as well. So the vessel has a capacity of 10,000 or more, about 10,000 pounds that it could carry in fish. If we can get close to 100 and maybe 50 tuna, that's good. So just to give you a ballpark figure, in terms of the operational cost, if we can catch at least 10 tuna, that will cover the operational cost of the vessel.
Wow.
From fuel and from the fuel, food, the rations, and all that, that's 10 tuna. So we are able to do calculations based on that, and it is better to look at our overall finances actually.
And so far, you have been meeting that and exceeding that.
Yes. And with the bycatch, again, we're going to keep it in Tobago. We're going to store it at our facility, and it's going to be available to the agro-processors, and more assist them in getting their raw material to do whatever the final product is. So far, we are doing very good, actually, in terms of assisting a few people. So far, we are doing good.
All right. Well, Mr. Alfred, I just want to thank you. It seems as though we are doing much better when it comes to the capital of Paradise, where we're actually seeing the revenue this time around.
Yes, the idea for me going forward is definitely to put the information out there. Again, it is not my information. It is the information of persons who should know how much money the vessel makes. There will be no secret in that. So every time it comes back, you will definitely see exactly what we are going to be doing. There is an industry that we will be looking at. It's called the bait industry. So you'll see some stuff coming out soon from TADCO with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward for all those things and that continued conversation as the situation develops. All right, viewers, well, that's it for this interview, but we have a lot more coming up on the program, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this break.
There we go, to Tobago, that paradise, Bombay, Robinson Crusoe, and it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret Bay, come to Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say, come to Tobago for holiday. Smile, let we smile, let we smile. In Tobago, that paradise, Bombay, Robinson Crusoe, and it is said, it's the
Advertise with Tobago Updates. Call 284-6597. If you have a small or large business, we can get your information in front of the masses. Reach our rapidly growing viewership on Facebook and YouTube. Promote your brand in Trinidad and the Caribbean through M&E TV Now and Gayel. Yes, We can build unique ads for your business. Call now 284-6597 and advertise with us.
Our national borders, our first step to security, but a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what?
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we're stronger.
Alright, and welcome back to Tobago. Good morning, Tobago. And of course, we are coming to you live from the Mount Irving Bay Hotel. And we are being joined now with the Opulence Promotions Cruise. And I just mixed up my words just now, but we have Mr. Erlen Clark, who is, of course, a director, and Miss Sabrina Serio, sorry. And she's also a director and a creative designer for Opulence Promotions, for Zane, right. So, of course, yes, we are talking about Zane, and we are talking about their band launch, which is to happen later this evening, tonight, rather, called The Treasures of Speyside. So, Mr. Clark, I want to start with you, and you tell me a little bit about Treasures of Speyside. What's the inspiration behind it, and what's it going to be like?
Well, to be honest, Treasures of Speyside is really Sabrina's brainchild. So what she depicted for Carnival 2022 in the October space is really enhancing our space in regards to the costume giving and so on, and additional to that, in really bringing out what Speyside has to offer: the beauty, the reef, the water wheel. Sabrina will be able to
yes, go right, go jump in, Sabrina, and tell me why Speyside, why the Treasures of Speyside?
Okay, so for me as a creative, because I do design and stuff for Carnival of the islands as well. So for me, I feel as though when you're creating something, or especially for Carnival, you want to depict something that means something to the space, or even to you as a designer or as a creative. So when I thought about it, I spoke to one of the other team. Can we do Treasure Speyside? Because we are getting into the space. Tobago, that is. And I said, some of this would be fantastic for our presentation this year. So what we decided to do is like, yes, there's a space because a lot of elements that bring, that particular country, showcase and let people see the history as well of Tobago. Yeah, so we decided to do the water because we know Tobago is treasure. It was there for a reason. The brain coral, the largest one in the hemisphere, the Western Hemisphere, and we have the reef. I mean, who can't look at it? You have
one of the most beautiful reef
exactly in this part of the brain. So it's like yes, and the colors and so much. It's a real treasure. And then the bird of paradise, of course, the bird of paradise, adding a little bit of Tobago area, So really, to just bring forward what we have in Tobago as something great and majestic and a treasure. So.
All right, and what I'm getting from you also is a lot of color, a lot of vibrance in your pieces.
Yes, we are going to have it. Is absolutely amazing. I am blushing because this is amazing for me because you're just creative and through stuff and realize.
Comes. Zane is ready to put on a very, very colorful show.
So what happened during the pandemic, we definitely was more or less working behind the scenes, passing information amongst each other to really create an experience come October Carnival, because we definitely was waiting for the open up of the space for the carnival, and when they indicated going in after they let into the space of carnival in,
yes.
We definitely say here what our plans. We had our team already built out, so we definitely looking at the October Carnival to come into the space in Tobago. So basically we were there, we geared, we're ready, motivated to really bring and produce a beautiful ultimate experience, which Zane is creating throughout the years since we have been in this space in Tobago.
All right, so from what I'm getting as well is that this has been something that's been, I guess, on your heart a long time. So can you tell me a little bit about how long have you been sitting on the idea for Treasures of Space, like for a band theme?
Well, you see, the thing about it is, again, getting back to the creative juices, usually what I would do is the year before, or just as we finish Carnival, or even the year before, as I said before, is like we would come up with a theme. So that we know we are prepared. We have like a year. So to be quite honest, since 2020,
you've been sitting on this.
I've been sitting on it. Actually, we were just thinking of doing the reef and just bring out different elements of the reef. And then said, why not just do an entire, town in Tobago, and just showcase the different elements there. So it has been since 2020 that we have been bantering, and then we kind of put it and just to give a holistic look and view of that of Space Eye. And so yeah, that is where it happened. I mean it is amazing that we are here now discussing this and just waiting to bring it alive tonight.
All right. And Mr. Clark, okay, so now tell me a little bit about Zane itself and why Zane stands out among all the other bands that are in Tobago.
Well, what we are known for, because we've been in this space just before 2 years prior to this. So what we are known for is the experience. We create a product that basically we cater to our customers, to our clients. We give them top-tier service. We give them top-tier costumes. We are modern. We are motivated to make sure that our clients have an experience that's second to none.
All right, great. Okay, so we are having the band launch this evening, tonight, right here at Mount Irving Bay Hotel.
6 p.m.
At 6 p.m.
Yes.
Why in Mount Irving Hotel and not in Speyside?
Okay, so what we wanted to do, based on our clientele base, we know that it's more or less in the western area, and we would have partnered with Mount Irving to make sure that we have a space that's basically that could accommodate. So our band launch taking the direction of the loud music, but more so an interactive kind of production, where you would be able to ask questions to our team members. You'll be able to see the costumes live directly, at least 2-3 feet off of you now, not a stage. So we go in a different direction where we really to more or less include our clients and not just have them look at our production from a stage front perspective.
Okay. Yeah.
And would it have any bit of educational elements towards it?
Yes, what are we going to do, because part of our presentation is just giving a little bit of history as to where Speyside came from. You know, that with you know, all the history that we have, and that we would have found out about, because of course, you know, you have to get deep into creating, we have to get deep into the history for us to understand how we can go forward. So yes, we are going to have a little bit of educational information given out later with our presentation of Treasures of Speyside. And yes, let everybody come in and join us with costumes and cocktails, you know. So.
And how can people come if they want to view this? Because I mean, it sounded amazing.
Well, it's actually there's no cover charge. So more or less what you can do is go on to Zane Carnival on our IG page, also on Facebook. You can follow us. We'll have updated information throughout the day in the lead up to the reveal of our 2022 presentation for Tobago Carnival.
All right, great. So we're just out of time, but I just want to give you guys an opportunity. We could be both of you or either one of you to just sell Treasures of Speyside.
Well, guys, let me tell you, from from being part of the creative juice of Speyside, it is absolutely treasure, wonderful, beautiful, colorful. It is euphoric. You would not want to miss this this afternoon, so you have to come out and ensure that you come with us on the journey to Speyside to see the treasures.
All right. Nicely done, nicely done. All right, so viewers, if you want to come out and experience a different kind of a band launch, I mean, and get into that vibe, be sure to come out tonight at 6 p.m. at the Mount Irving Bay Hotel. All right, so we are not quite done yet. We have just one more interview for you and one more conversation for you, so don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back after the break. And of course, thank you to you guys for being here with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules, or if you are having a cooking day off.
There we go, to Tobago, that paradise, Bombay, Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world sings.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
We are
live from the Mount Irvin Bay Hotel, and sitting with me, of course, is the sales and marketing manager, Miss Rachel McSween, and from Mount Irvin Bay Hotel, and of course. Yes, and of course earlier we heard from the team of Zane, who are going to be having their band launch later this afternoon, later this evening I should say, at 6 p.m. They're going to be having their band launch here. And now we will be speaking with Ms. McSween to give us an idea of what's going on with Summer's on the island. People are coming back on. We're seeing activities. How about going?
Well, we're excited to have everything opening back up. We're excited to be welcoming guests again, and we are excited that this year we will have a Tobago Carnival.
Yes.
So being part of it now, our partnership with Zane has been phenomenal. I'm looking forward to seeing the costumes. We are informing our overseas partners about it, so people who are coming to visit for Tobago are going to be excited and get in on the parties and the events and things that are happening throughout. As far as the hotel, we are slowly opening up our restaurants, bars, and facilities. The beach has been going off an event in the middle of June.
Yes.
And had a lot of fun with that, a lot of good response. So we're looking at more events coming up. As we solidify those details, then we will make them public. We also, as we're known for, weddings, we have a lot of those over the next few months. This month, we are celebrating family, and we have family packages, kids stay free. We are starting from $32.20 for a 2-night package, up from there, and we offer 1 breakfast package and 1 breakfast and dinner package. So there's a lot of, we're building back up, and it's exciting to reopen things again, reintroduce ourselves to the public, get to know our island again.
And a chance to rebrand yourself.
You bet. We always were a wedding destination, but now we have actually been able to host some government and some international corporate events in our conference facility. That's been exciting. Looking at everything from climate change, sustainability, things that we can do as individuals to make our backyard a little bit greener.
Right.
It's important. We are located in a spot where the land, excuse me, meets the sea. And so we do a lot of celebration with the ocean in mind. That's one of the reasons that the Zane promotion is really cool for me, is the fact that it touches us specifically with that theme.
All right, and as you mentioned in Zane, I want you to tell me a little bit about the response that you've been getting for Carnival. And, are people interested? Are people booking?
Yes.
What's been happening?
Yes, there is a lot of interest from Trinidad, both for people who are wanting to participate, play mass, but also for people who are wanting to have additional events. So there's a lot of excitement around the possibility of, we've had Carnival Tobago, you could almost say.
Certainly.
And so any sort of form of it in Trinidad and Tobago, people will latch onto and enjoy. So I've been contacted by a few different promoters who are looking at having various types of events, everything from in the parking lot to breakfast promotion to lunch and dinner promotions. So there's going to be a lot more than just the official things that are happening during Carnival, and I find that tremendously exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do to offering our guests a variety of different activities to get involved with during that time period.
And tell me about your partnership with Zane, the band Zane, and will there be packages extended to people who are coming to be part of that band?
We are currently talking about putting together some packages. There's nothing been solidified yet, But we're definitely looking at offering something for the Carnival period. And we're just looking to see, like you had mentioned, to what kind of interest we're going to get, what sort of exposure, what can we afford to do, what would be a win-win package for our clients.
All right, and tell me about, what's been happening in terms of what new you guys have to offer here at Mount Irvin Bay Hotel.
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily new. We've been closed for 2 years, so we're opening back and reopening our facilities. We have some new shops that will come online. We've got some new partners with regards to activities and packages that we can put together in the area. Mount Irvin Bay Water Sports is a long-term partner with us. So they would do non-motorized, your sea kayaking
Yes.
and snorkeling, things like that. We have recently started talking to Top Catch charters.
Oh, nice.
So we're looking at having a sunset cruise for a couple, right down to a family taking a trip up the Caribbean coast. So we're excited because we're starting to get to reach back out to our partners, Buku Village Council, looking at those types of events that they're having, the goat racing, the different things that are happening for the village itself, and how we can partner with them for that. So we actually there's a lot of things that we're looking at to partner with and grow through those experiences.
And then also tell me about the golf course, because the golf course is a major part of the hotel. And how have things been going where that is concerned?
Well, we are manicuring it now, reopening it. We are running golf lessons. We have a pro on staff. And we're hoping to have everything back up and running by the end of this year. But people are already golfing. So it's already happening. I love the fact that we are bringing up another generation. So every week there is a lineup of young, so 6 to 10 years
nice
old.
Kids, yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice to see them participating in it. So it is coming along. Yeah, it's coming along.
For people wishing to come to Tobago for Carnival, because we have our reach right now that's in Grenada and all of the other islands and so on. And when they come for Carnival, they don't just get to come to Carnival here at the hotel, but they get to go to golf.
Yes.
Right? And what's the packages like?
Well, right now we normally would have golf available at an additional cost. The full 18 holes is not open yet, so we are allowing our guests to have access. If they travel with their clubs, bonus. So they can go on and they can work with a pro or they can work on their own. If they want lessons, we can arrange it for them. For Carnival, we can incorporate it in, but a lot of our local clientele and regional clientele, they're coming for the fete or they're coming beach or exploring the island. So really a lot of golfers coming. I haven't had a lot of requests for that yet.
Right. All right. And so tell me a little bit about how have things been for you through the pandemic? How have you been able to, stay to the point where you can reopen?
Wow, that was a real challenge, being closed and no revenue stream. We had to work off of savings, pare down the staff, obviously, save where we could on electricity, water, those sort of things, but we still had to keep everything at a minimal level of operation. So right now we are trying to get back on our feet, but it was like when you are keeping care of your home.
Yes.
You do what you can to maintain it in the best shape you can while you're down, and then you reopen, bring it back to life.
All right, great. So we're just about out of time. But Ms. McSween, for those viewers out there that are listening that are interested in coming, whether it is for Carnival or for any other event that's happening in Tobago, how can they get in touch with the Mount Irvin Bay Hotel?
They can contact us through info@mountirvin.com. They can contact us at reservations@mountirvin.com, or me directly at salesandmarketing@mountirvin.com. tobago.com.
All right, great. So viewers, there you have it. I want to thank you so much, Ms. Maxine, for being here with us and to sharing us a little bit about what Mount Irving Bay Hotel has to offer. And again, thank you for hosting us this morning so that we could come here live from Mount Irving Bay Hotel.
Great.
All right, viewers, that's what we have for the program today. You know, be safe on the roads. It's a very, very windy day. So yeah, just take it easy. Be very courteous when you're out there. And of course, be safe. But we'll see you again. Have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you again on Monday. That's it from me, Candace Jackson, for the Tobago Updates Good Morning Show.
60,000 people strong, and the vibes is